Do you think we can do it? Here. Come here. Oh, don't be rude, Sadie. Look. What up, dude? Super Mexican. How you doing, man? Yeah.
The hearts go like the stamps when they have lots of ink. They go on the back. See, they can be like a name and with
Great
hearts.
job writing your name.
And the back.
Hey, show them how you write your name. What's going on, Ryan? Matt's fishing mission. Say hey. Show them your name. Show it up close so they can read it. Oh, Brooklyn. Way to go. So what up, dudes? I am organizing a little bit of tackle right now. And just taking as many of the Zoom soft plastics out of my hard plastic containers as possible, just because I've come to realize that they really warp the plastic boxes. The softener in Zoom soft plastics more than any other brand. So I'm literally transferring my Magnum finesse worms and my UV speed worms to their original bags. And I'm putting my soft plastics that I don't have hung up on the wall in this container here. This is like a shoebox style deal from Walmart. And so I've got a lot of drop shot baits up front here. And then here we get into flukes and 6 cents plastics and worms and rage tail baits. So yeah, lots of help, Ryan. Yeah, not much help, but they're willing to entertain themselves at the moment. So that's pretty cool. Ava Hannon, how are you doing? Where do you get your baits? Because I have none and I can't buy any. I buy my baits, so hard to give you advice other than when you do have the money saved up to buy some baits, I would recommend shopping online. You know, I've bought some stuff on Amazon, but for the most part, I buy my baits on discounttackle.com. Ladies, come here. Calm down. Sadie, come here. What's going on? Will you show them your baits? Show the camera your baits. Show your baits. Oh, what do you got there? Baits? You got a swim bait? And a creature bait? Yeah. It's called a Jackal Rhythm Wave and a Reaction Innovations Man Bear Pig. Ooh. Brooklyn wants to show her picture again. Ooh, look at that, guys. Super Mexican. My mom might give me $100 today if she gets $500 per child. That would be cool, man. That would be very cool. So yeah, if you find yourself with a budget for fishing tackle all of a sudden, or you get a gift card, I'd be happy to give recommendations on what kind of baits you ought to consider picking up. I've been building my collection over the last couple of years, so at this point, I have most of what I need and want. Ava Hannon, how do you enter the giveaway? You got to go back to the video that I posted a couple of days ago that is called like bed/site/spawn fishing lures giveaway. And you'll see that if you just click on the video and hit the thumbs up button and leave any comment in the comment section, you're entered in the giveaway there. So look at this. The tail came off of one of these guys, the Ultra Vibe Speedworm. And the tail came off. And look at how surprisingly good of a stick bait this is. You know, the Ultra Vibe Speedworm, I think, is something like a 6-inch bait. So this would be like a 5-inch, really floppy, saltless bait that I think would work well on a weightless wacky rig and also really well on a Nico rig. So never thought about that until the tail came off one of these guys. You know, this is just like the trick worm. The UV speed worm has that same consistency of having like no salt in it. So appreciate that. Super Mexican, thanks for the help. Tim Dunn, so many watching, not enough likes. There's 4 people on here, so no worries, guys. I'm not worried about likes. I probably won't even leave this video up because I'm just hanging out and like I said, transferring some of these worms. These are the UV speed worms. This in the red shad color. Transferring them from the Plano boxes that I had them in back to their original bags. You don't want your what?
My headband on. I want this crown.
Okay.
Let me show them.
Ooh, show everybody your crown. Hop in the picture. You can get a little bit closer so that you can see. How do you like the way it looks, Krista?
I like it.
You like it?
It's a little bit big.
Yeah.
But if it's right here, then it will fall down. See?
That's true. So you got to put it up a little bit higher on your head. Recently, Brooklyn's had a thing for looking in the mirror. So, yeah. Super Mexican, you have a lifetime worth of tackle. That's not true. I probably have a few years worth of tackle if I was a tournament angler. If I was a tournament angler and I didn't buy any tackle for a couple of years, I could probably make it through what I've bought over the last handful of years. So there's a lot that I have to give away, need to give away. I don't even want to show you guys. Now look, same thing happened on, this is the Rage Cutter worm. Not sure if you guys throw this worm. The Rage Cutter worm is a little bit fatter of a worm, but same concept. Swimming worm has that rage tail flange on it. Really, you're supposed to rig it with the tail facing down, but the bait is fatter in general. And when the tail comes off, this would make a decent wacky rig, decent Nico rig, but with the salt content and the way that this plastic is made up, I think the Zoom one here from the Ultravive Speed Worm, while it's much thinner, would make a much more effective bait on a wacky rig and on a Nico rig, just because you see all that action on a wacky rig that would look so much better, and then on a Nico rig it's going to stand up a lot more effectively. So anyway, don't throw these baits away when the tails get bit off or something happens to them. Now that red shad color just bleeds all over the bag, all over other soft plastic baits if it comes in contact with them. And then you'll see in here down below, it has stained the box and it has warped the dividers just a little bit so that they're bowed. So I wanted to get them out of there and potentially get a couple other colors of the cutter worms to put in this box. Generally, I prefer to have soft plastic baits in boxes when I can, if I know that they're going to last for, say, a couple of seasons before I have to change them out. But take a look at this box, for example. That I just took my Magnum Speed Worms out of. Look at how bowed that is. That's pretty brutal. Just from the Zoom Ultravibe. These ones here for the last season. So anyway, these baits, I'm not going to be throwing a ton of this year. I was using as Nico rig baits last year, and now these are more wacky rig baits or drop shot wacky rig baits, which quite honestly I don't throw very frequently. This bait right here is a sleeper. This is the Kitech Salty Core stick. and the 4.5 inch. You almost can't find these anymore. They've like gone out of production, unfortunately. So I've talked about this before, but here's a bait that I really like the idea of. This is the Strike King Fat Baby Finesse Worm, and it is fat in the bottom. Takes a shaky head, screw lock, or the head of the eye of any EWG style hook, and then it really tapers to an interesting tail here that's shaped like a piece of like a shell macaroni type of deal. But anyway, I surprisingly don't like the buoyancy of this bait. You throw it on a Nico rig, and this thing, the tail never goes up. So for how thin and tapered it is, it's a little bit too salty in my opinion. So it can work decently on a shaky head, but a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. So anyway, this right here is the Yamamoto Daiwa Nico Fat, which was designed for the Nico rig, but like you'd expect with a Yamamoto soft plastic, it is chock full of salt. And just like that Fat Baby Finesse Worm from Strike King, it does not stand up ever. So you're working it and it just stays like this or falls down. So unless you want a bent over worm the whole time, which I don't, then that's not really your best choice. And then of course Robo Worm just makes some awesome colors. I mean, look at that. Take it easy. Right? So pretty much just taking the zooms out, putting them in here. I've only got 5% left on my batteries, so I got to dip out of here in a second. Sorry, guys. My brother broke my Orvis Encounter fly rod. Sorry to hear that, Super Mexican. Ava, thanks for entering the giveaway. Alan, last year I put all my worms, Senko soft plastics, and tackle in boxes. Since then, I've learned that I need to do what you're doing right now. Plastic bags for me since I didn't keep my bags. Yeah, which is unfortunate, you know. I did keep most of my bags, which I'm grateful for. And so it's making this process a little bit easier on me right now. What size box is that? This is like a shoebox type of deal. It's not very big, you know. I want to say it's 6 inches high by maybe 18 inches long. So just wide enough for a soft plastic bag to fit inside here. But that's about it. And as you can see right now, I've probably got some 25 or 30 bags of soft plastics in there right now. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And maybe I'll see you again later. Cheers.